All right, I'll go ahead and call tonight's meeting to order. Would everybody please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Jerry, will you take a roll call, please?
Member Manson?
Present.
Member Mays?
Here.
Member Roller?
Present.
Member Lewis?
Present.
Member Rabinowitz?
Present.
Chairman Harris?
Present.
Mr. Stidham is absent, and Mr. Eastwood is absent. Director Kennedy and the rest of the staff are here.
Thank you, Jerry. I'll call for a motion to adopt the agenda as listed for tonight's meeting.
Second.
Movement and second. All right, any discussion? Anybody want to add anything, remove anything? All right, the agenda is adopted. I'll now call for a motion to accept the minutes from the March 25th, 2014 meeting. Did you say yep?
That would be me.
We've got a yep and a second. Any discussion? All in favor? Are you going to abstain? No's. We got one abstention.
Wasn't here for the
All right, I understand. Thank you, sir. I know number 6 is public comment. We're going to go ahead and skip it at this time and move forward because I believe everybody is here. Is anybody here not here about Eagle Glen? Okay, then we'll just go ahead and have. Oh, you're not? Oh, okay. Sorry. For another one? Oh, all right. Well, we'll move that one too on the agenda order then, so everybody didn't stay all night. The committee reports we did have, I'll just briefly talk about it. We talked, went to Rec Park, was it 2 weeks ago? 2 weeks ago? I think it was 2 weeks ago. Eric had staked out disc golf. We had some hot dogs and hamburgers. Thank you, Mr. Kenny. They were very good, by the way. And we walked the trail. Had a couple of different ideas for him to change some of his holes, move them around. I think you mentioned one time on the design that it was awfully close to the street. We told him to kind of relocate that, move it. It was fairly close. I mean, I'm not very good. It never would have made it that far, but somebody who was good, it could have carried to the street. So we kind of pulled it back behind a tree. Seemed like there's another one we were talking about moving. But it was a good design. There's obviously going to be some brush work. He's got some stuck way back into some trees, so there's going to be some brush work on there. But are the stakes still up? Are they, most of them, a little bit. If you have the map and kind of want to see where it's at, it was kind of neat to see where that design was at, to see what you think, because that'll come up for discussion again. Is it tonight? No, probably in the next couple months. So if you have a chance, get out and see it. So we did that. That was our last committee meeting. Let's go ahead and get through staff reports real quick. John, you want to start?
Yes, sir. As you can see with my report, it is, of course, the very busy time of the year for the recreation side. This week we did start recreation, baseball and softball practices. Last week we started competitive games, so we have games and practices going, so all the fields are very full. May 19th is when we start our recreation league play. We did have to play a few of the divisions, but schedules are made and being finalized before sent out. Softball, adult softball, our first night actually got bumped back due to the weather. But with saying that, our fields got some very good compliments. We started a Tournament of Champions League play on Wednesday evenings, and they started this last Wednesday and had lots of compliments on the fields that we passed on to Steve and his guys as well for the work that they've put in the last couple weeks and all the final touches for prepping them. We held the Easter Festival this last weekend, had a great turnout. So thanks for everybody that helped and participated in that event, sponsors and other assistants. We have the Jog with Your Dog event this coming Saturday. Sorry about the typo on the date, but it is this Saturday. And then we've also been working to prepare for the summer events for summer camp, Summer Quest program, getting counselors and directors hired as well. So that's it in a nutshell.
Thank you, Mr. McLean. Mr. Rulo?
Thank you. I also submitted a written report. Just wanted to hit on a couple key things. The city and Parks Department celebrated Arbor Day a couple Fridays ago, April 11th, I believe. And on this day, the Parks crew planted a tree over at the Timber Creek Elementary School. Chuck Connor from the Missouri Department of Conservation came in and talked to the the fourth grade class, a little bit about trees and the benefits of them. Then there's about 8 to 15 student council kids came out and helped finish off the mulching of the tree. It was a really nice. It was a nice day, and it was a nice morning for the kids. Love Chuck. Chuck does a good job when he comes in and talks about this Arbor Day stuff. Also, just wanted to let you all know that the ball field, the infield project down at Recreation Park is complete. Some of my crew, all my crew, have been down there touching it up before this past Monday or Tuesday, I guess, the ball game started, and for that tournament this weekend. They're looking really nice, very nice, and hopefully the weather holds off this weekend and we get some good play in. So if you guys are bored this weekend, stop by. There'll be plenty of action going on in Recreation Park. Soccer, baseball tournament, jog with your dog. Come on down, take a look. I'll entertain any questions.
Yes. Oh, go ahead. Excuse me. How many teams do you have for the upcoming tournament this weekend?
We don't know yet. We'll find that out tomorrow. Wednesday's always the cutoff date.
Okay.
And so John will be talking with Tournament of Champions tomorrow morning, and hopefully we'll find out.
Okay. Thank you.
Did you find anything about the swell in Shadowwood? I know you guys were going to take a look at it.
No, I did not. I will, though, for you next time.
Thank you.
Sorry about that.
Any other questions for Mr. Rulo? Mr. Kennedy?
I would like to first welcome our newest Park Board member, Bob Rabinowitz. Mr. Rabinowitz has had children in our programs, and he himself, I think you've coached, haven't you, before? Okay, well, we really appreciate you taking the time to serve on the Park Board, and look forward to working with you, sir. Last week, we had our Easter Festival. Had just a tremendous day as far as weather, so consequently the turnout was reported to me one of the best that we've had in quite some time. Jerry informed me that we had over 20,000 eggs this year that were out in the park area, and it's incredible. Within 5 minutes, all those eggs are picked up and put into little baskets by all the different age groups of kids. The Easter Bunny was there. There was a line for photographs that stretched almost all the way out to Field 3. It was just a great day, and I'd like to thank all of our sponsors, starting with the Life Quest Church, the South Metro Fire District, Foxwood Springs, the Sunset Garden Club, the Vollen family, Cass County 4-H Club, Girl Scout Unit 654, and Boy Scout Troops 32 and 124. Without these organizations, businesses, and groups, we would not be able to pull this off. So needless to say, we really thank them for their participation and their time. Other than that, like Steve said, we have Jog with Your Dog this weekend out at Recreation Park. We have a Tournament of Champions baseball tournament out at Recreation Park, and we also have soccer. So it's going to be a very busy place. We've talked to PD, and they've said they would step up their patrols. Well, I'm a little concerned about parking, but hopefully everyone will be patient and understand that there's a lot going on out at the park, and so consequently, they may have to walk a little bit to get to their events. But if you have some time, invite you all out. Should be some great baseball. Obviously, the soccer has been very good this year. A lot of kids out playing. And Jog with Your Dog, we have more pre-registrations than we've ever had. So we're expecting a great turnout. And again, the weather looks like Saturday, 68 degrees and no rain. So we're keeping our fingers crossed. Any questions you might have?
Yeah, one, on 4th of July, we do overflow parking over there by tennis. What about, you're gonna do that?
Absolutely,
this
sir.
weekend?
We will utilize that. The sandwich board signs will be put up, instructing people as to where to park as far as when the main parking lots get full.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions for Mr. Kennedy? Nope.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Let's move on to topic 8, old business, the Eagle Glen Trail renovation. We will be asking for public comment this evening before we start, but Bob, you probably don't know what. Can you give a quick explanation for our newest member, kind of what we're talking about, and for anybody else who needs a refresher? Thank you.
And this is Mike Krass, Public Works Director.
Good evening. We are here this evening seeking approval from the Park Board for our, to proceed with the bidding phase of the Eagle Glen Trail Reconstruction Project. The project consists of replacing the existing asphalt trail with a concrete trail. There are several locations where we will be able to push the trail a little bit further away from, it's a little further east than its existing location. We're going to be addressing some drainage concerns, also where a couple of the flared end sections come out and typically drain across the trail. We're going to be installing some rain gardens that will allow the lower flow events to infiltrate rather than trickling across the trail. And construction schedule, we hope to begin construction sometime in August and wrap up first part of October.
That makes sense to you? I mean, we had a meeting on this, so most of us, I think, are kind of aware of what we're trying to do and accomplish, but. I personally haven't done it, but last week we had pictures that kind of displayed some of the troubled areas.
Some of us have,
That
some of us
helped.
haven't.
Yeah.
This project was identified actually in last year's CIP project. We did some study, had some input from public, and one of the things that was identified was that we might want to look at some of the drainage issues, and Mike was able to step forward with some funds to help us with this. This is a $182,000 project with $40,000 coming from Public Works and $142,000 out of the CIP from Parks. Again, like Mike said, we think it's a great opportunity to improve a real asset that we already have. It's going to be a cooperative effort with the neighbors. We sent letters out to all the neighbors that lived adjacent to the trail, and that's what we want to talk about tonight, sir, if we could open the floor
Yep.
at some point.
We will. I just want to make sure everybody's comfortable with our information before we do that. Okay, if anybody would like to come up and comment on the project we're going to be looking at. No? 5 minutes? Yes. You can come on up, give your name and address, and speak. 5 minutes? Each one? 5 minutes? Yes, ma'am.
I'm Wanda Bellamy, and I live in Eagle Glen, 517 on Fox Ridge Drive. And our property is on the very end, closest to Lucy Webb. So I was wondering if this diagram is gonna be pretty much what you're sticking to, or if you're planning on coming closer to our property, or what?
So if we're looking at this, you're on the tail end over here.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Far
You want
left.
me to answer that, Brian?
Right up here, this is our property, and it looks like you're gonna bypass our property just fine. But I was wondering if you're gonna be sticking to that, because I really don't want it coming any closer to our property, because it's tiny. And we've already got a little privacy as it is. So if we stick to the diagram, I'm good with it. If you don't stick to it, then there may be an issue, but I'm willing to discuss it.
A couple things. It's going to be pretty much exactly as where it was previously, where the trail is now located. And they will be removing the old asphalt trail, okay? And then we will field verify everything, and we will flag the corners of your property to make sure that we don't intrude any closer, and probably a little further away possibly from where the current route of the trail is. And by all means, you're more than welcome to come out when they're laying the trail out, ask any questions, give me a call, I can give you my card.
Yeah, please.
And we could definitely meet you out on the site and walk through it with you.
Okay, so you're taking out the old trail, and what are you gonna put in its place? Are you gonna put like grass and stuff?
No, it's gonna be an 8-foot concrete trail.
Well, no, on the old, on this piece here.
Heartland is the one that's gonna have a new section to it.
Ours, you're getting a little bit further away. This is where it is now, and this is where you're gonna be going.
Okay.
So this piece here is what I'm worried about.
Yes, the area will be a turf area between the property and the trail, and it will be maintained. It's very similar to as to how we maintain it. The only change that really is going to be is the land on the other side of the trail. We're going to be rather insistent that there not be any development by property owners. We still are going to keep an area mode, but one of the goals of this project is not only to replace the trail and make it better, but also to that riparian corridor through there. We want to restrict the runoff that is coming off the property, and the only way to do that is to put in some natural type areas. Mowed grass, whether it's fescue or bluegrass or whatever, does not do a good job of cleaning the water before it gets to the creek. And that's one of the goals of this project, is to make sure that we filter that water out before it gets into the watershed.
Okay. Okay. Well,
Thank you.
thank you. I want your business card, please.
I'll give it to you right now.
I'm not leaving without that.
Steve, do you want to-
And
no, good.
actually,
Okay,
I'll give you mine.
thank you, ma'am.
On that
Is
end.
anybody else?
Good. Thank you.
Yes,
Okay.
sir, come on up.
Thank you.
My name is Jim Bellamy. I also live with Wanda at 517 Fox Ridge Drive. I'm just kind of curious about the areas that the water, the drainage issue, and I know I saw pictures of the water gardens, but I just didn't understand what you were saying a while ago about is the water gonna go over the trail, over the trail after it's made to drain off, or is it gonna, how is that gonna work to keep that drainage from?
Heavier rain events will still cross the trail. We're talking about the smaller 1 inch. The more frequent rain events will stay and be absorbed within the rain garden by the plantings. And if there's excess water, we have a small weep drain that will drain under the trail. But the larger rain events, because that area is a floodplain, the trail will still flood.
Okay, I'm just kind of curious what that was going to look like, when people are running or riding bikes or whatever. I didn't know if water staying on the trail would be an issue, but it
No.
won't do that.
No.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Nope. All right. Okay, so now we
just need a formal motion to accept the design as presented.
Motion to accept the design as it is.
do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. First and a second. All right, any discussion? No? We're all good? All right, all in favor? Unanimous? Thank you, sir. All right, moving on to new business. The first one is the 2015 CIP plan. We discussed this last month and probably the month before and probably the month before that again. But I think we finally got, we're settled in, really kind of keeping everything. We did add, if I remember right, we added the tennis courts, which we didn't have beforehand. We added something.
Trailer. Oh, a park maintenance trailer.
No.
Oh, the budget. What are you talking about? Oh, we're on CIP. I apologize.
Okay.
Please ignore me.
Okay. Yes, yes. We did pull in the tennis court.
And that's for 2014.
Yes, we pulled that one into 2014. 2015, then nothing changed, I guess, for 2015.
No, sir.
I just remember we made a change. I couldn't remember the year. So if everybody's good with our 2015 CIP plan, we'll go ahead and approve it now as the projects come up. Because I do know we have one park member that is not happy with all the projects, but we can have that fight another day, I guess. That's kind of the way I'm looking at it. But if everybody's good with the CIP as it is now, we'll go ahead and approve it. For the record, he called me and told me his reservations on this, so I just told him what was going to happen tonight because he happened to miss. But and for those who can't figure it out, it's Mr. Stidham, but but that's okay. So I'll call for a motion to go ahead and approve the 2015 CIP plan. Okay. All right, I have first and second. Any discussion? All in favor? All right, unanimous. All right, so that's done. Okay, item B of new business, budget amendments for park operations and rec programs. There was a transfer of an additional $50,000 from the general fund to be allocated for additional rec programs and increases for park operations. There is a listing in your packet on page 12. On page 12 of those specific items for that $50,000 in budget. So we just need to make a motion to go and approve it if we were all good with all those options. Or if anybody has any questions on anything. Bob, you probably have no idea what we're talking about. You did? I'm glad we talked about it last month because that's when I read through it. But is everybody good with everything that's on there? Any questions left over? No? You'll make a motion?
Yes, I'm gonna make a motion
Go ahead.
that we send these budget amendments and recommendations to city council for their action.
I'll second.
That's first and a second. All right, any more discussion? All in favor? Unanimous. All right, item C is a request to serve alcohol in the park. There it is, on 14, it's all in order. The letter for the request to serve alcohol in the park by the Raymore Festival in the Park Committee. I don't know if everybody knows our alcohol policy. Does everybody know it? Bob, do you know it? Do you want to know what it entails? It's on page 14.
Mr. Chairman, there is representatives here from the Raymore Festival Committee to address if there's any questions by the.
Okay. I don't know if there will be. If there are, we'll call you up. But otherwise, you stay relaxed. Enjoy the show. No, look, we made a pretty rock solid policy. This is a top-notch board up here. All right, I'll call for a motion to go ahead and approve the request, the application, to approve the application to serve alcohol.
Second.
Moved.
Second.
And a second. All right, I have movement and a second. Any more discussion? All in favor? Unanimous. Thank you. Thank you. Well, that went quick. We're on to board member comments. Would anybody like to make a comment this evening? We'll start with the lady. Come on.
Yes, I wanted to say the Tetra truck was awesome, and my kids are still talking about the dump truck and why we can't have a dump truck. So, but I did have somebody email me an idea that they wanted me to pass along. They had been to a similar event in another city and said that there was a handout given to older kids when they came in, kind of a scavenger hunt concept to add a literary element to the event, and they just wanted to throw that idea out there in case we wanted to consider that something to keep the attention of the older kids that their siblings are honking horns and chasing firemen. It might give them something to do. So I told them I would pass along the idea.
I apologize for being late. I had to drop my daughter off at home after practice. So.
Okay.
Did you guys go over the committee report at all?
I didn't
What
talk
was
about
said?
it. I just explained what we did.
Okay.
You moved it.
Yeah, so we walked it April 9th. John, Brian and I. John even threw some discs. So we had a nice little walk, had a barbecue.
Is that what you're gonna call it?
They were thrown. He did
Well, I
well.
threw one too then.
Yeah, you did.
I want credit.
So I guess I brought copies of what we modified on the design. Those that didn't attend, they can ask any questions. I would like to ask staff what our next steps are. Do we need to formally accept this design? We talked about directing you guys to buy baskets or start moving on that. How should we proceed on this project?
That's what I thought the next step would be, is we would put together, and possibly an RFP for the baskets, or if we can look at other options that the city has as far as their purchasing policy, we will probably do that too, and hope to put together that package or make the purchase here in the very near future. I think I would really like to have another time to go out and take Heather and our GPS unit and identify formally the layout as we see it and put it up on a map, so we have what we think is exactly pretty close, at least, to where the tee boxes are, where the holes are, any other features in the course. And then I think we'll probably be ready as soon as the baskets are approved, and probably put it on the next agenda if we can do that. I don't know if the baskets will be purchased by then, but possibly, and have the purchase approved possibly, and then maybe formally accept the course layout after we get the GPS and the map and stuff all done. Do you see anything else, Eric?
No, I don't think so. I was just curious on the process. I wasn't sure exactly how we were doing it.
Shouldn't we, before we buy baskets, shouldn't we wait till the full park board approves this layout and this design at this location?
Same number of baskets, right?
Yeah. The baskets locations may change
I
and the tee
guess.
pads might change.
I mean, we're gonna need baskets regardless, correct? I mean, is there a
Right.
chance that you're not gonna approve the course? Is that what you're thinking,
I don't-
Brian? Or?
I mean,
I
we could
don't-
make a motion that it's there and it's how many baskets to order.
I don't,
So we,
I
The
guess I
funding-
can't speak for the full board, but I guess we've already budgeted for it and everybody was in favor of it, but I don't know what could happen. I don't know. I don't wanna buy baskets and then five people say, nah. You know what I'm saying? I don't.
The only, like I said, I'm gonna explore the opportunity that we have to purchase baskets. You know, we're members of some different buyers clubs that we can look at some
I
things.
mean, I guess the thing is, we're only talking 4 weeks away from when we meet again. It's not like you're gonna buy them and have them installed in 4 weeks, right?
No, but if we have to go through formal bid process to buy the baskets, that means putting together a spec, getting that spec out, accepting bids, bringing it back to the park board for their approval or whatever, and then it has to go before the council for 2 readings. So,
So it sounds like we for sure need an action item next meeting to approve the course location and design, and then everything else kind of falls into place? Is that, no?
I thought we were gonna do that tonight. I thought we
It's
were
not
gonna
on.
approve what we walked and was here generally.
Brian, there's nothing wrong with us asking staff to put out bids for the 18 baskets, because we're gonna do the course. The layout is, if that's still in question, it's just gonna be a matter of a few adjustments, but the bidding if there has to be a bidding process, and he's talking about
I
the
guess,
timeframe.
yeah.
Yeah.
I guess we don't
That's
even know
my
if there's,
concern, is that we lose
we're
another
not
month
100%
of
certain they
that
have to bid on
timeframe.
them, though. They may not have to.
No, but I mean, at least have the staff make a motion for the staff to just proceed with that and see what is needed. If a bid process is involved, work that up, and if not, what it would cost for an outright purchase.
Yeah, I would concur. We've talked about this for months. I'd rather just go ahead and move on it.
Yeah.
It's been a year.
So let's make a motion that we direct staff to explore what's needed to purchase baskets.
Is that an official motion?
Yeah, official
Did you just
motion.
make it
I
the
did.
official motion? Okay. I have a motion to have staff explore what it takes to buy, and a second. Okay. Did you point at somebody? Was somebody gonna say something? Yes, ma'am.
The motion is to approve going ahead with this plan?
No.
Did I misunderstand?
No, it's to direct them to go figure out how to buy baskets.
Oh, okay. I agree with that.
Yes.
Right.
And if it's a bid, they go ahead and put it out?
Next meeting.
And if it's a bid, they go ahead and put it out?
Right.
You good with that? Does that make sense to everybody? It's kind of a roundabout motion, but I think we all got there and we, uh-oh, we did something wrong. We better back up.
I didn't think so. We can't do this. You can't add an action item to a formal agenda.
Okay, scratch all of that.
We need to have it added to next meeting.
Okay, you weren't here to adopt.
Yeah,
the
it
agenda,
needed to be
sorry.
recognized at the beginning of the meeting that we wanted to add an agenda item. And if we would have gone through it that way, we could have
Yeah,
added it.
So do we want, does it need to be 2 separate agenda items? One to approve the plan and the location and the layout, and then a separate one for the baskets? Or can we do all
Let
of
me look into what's going to be involved in purchasing of the baskets. Okay, but yeah, I didn't think we could do that, I'm sorry.
one more month. Do you have anything else to say now?
No.
Well, no, but I think that's a good point. Sorry, I do, because I've had 2 people call me that wish they could have, public, that, hey, I wish I would have known, I would have walked the trail, because they want to see it too. So I think that gives us the time. I know, I saw it, but some
Well-
people missed it, so I just think that'll be
And-
good.
And once we get a map, we can put that on the website, right? I mean, we can make that, then they don't have to walk it, they could take it, and they can.
Right, but
they
if you're
can
gonna walk it
physically see
again and GPS it, is that something that it will be something that all of us can come and public can come, or is that just you guys?
Absolutely, we could post it as a park board meeting and.
The only thing with public is that may take 10 times as long.
There are 2 people, I mean, that had it.
No, I mean, if depending on how long it takes to walk and we get to.
Why don't you just take Heather out, GPS it,
Right.
make the document online, if somebody wants to walk it, they can walk it.
And then they could show up at next meeting, I guess,
Yeah.
if they wanted to.
Then you're
They
not
can
dragging
always-
her out
they
at
can
7
always
o'clock at
contact me
night.
too.
Right, I told
Right.
them to do that.
That's
Well,
probably
I'll
better.
definitely need Eric, so.
Yeah, you have to go. Again. All right, yes, sir.
Just, different comment. First, the Easter Egg Festival was fantastic. I've never seen Locust before, but I imagine it was a lot like that. because they just swarmed that place. It was pretty amazing. So great work. The next thing, this is not exactly related to Parks and Rec, but I think it could be slightly when it comes to the Eagle Glen trail improvements. And that is, I had a citizen speak with me early last week that somebody came out to their home that was a city contractor that was doing some work on like a sewage drain. And that person had no idea that they were coming, and they were literally just walking around their house, opening up things, going outside in the yard, excuse me. And they were pretty mad because they thought it was a burglar for obvious reasons. And in discussions with them, they said they wouldn't have been that confused about it if there just would have been a sign on the person's truck. Maybe they were wearing a t-shirt that said where they were coming from. Even when they contacted the city, no one knew what was going on. It took a few digging to figure that out. So my request is kind of forwarding from them. If we're going to do some work of this nature, if they could just put some decals on their trucks. Thank you so much for putting out the letter. I think that's a huge benefit when we're going to be doing the work on the trail. But then maybe also just wearing some shirts or something, just making it look official, even if we're using contractors.
So it was determined that it was a city employee?
It was a contractor coming out for the city to do work on the sewage drains in this specific case.
Okay, well, I will definitely look into it. I know they've been doing some work, so, but I understand your point.
Like I said, they did prompt work. Glad they came out and did it. Just want to make sure that we communicate with the public and make sure everybody feels safe, of course.
Okay.
Anybody else? No, I have a couple things. First, I want to welcome Bob again to joining this board. I'd also like to congratulate Mr. Rulo, Tree City USA. It's only been like 3 or 4 years in the making, but we finally got there. Thank you, sir. I'd also like to say I heard good things about Easter in the park. I didn't attend, but I heard good things about it. It was well attended, and there were a lot of people there. I'd also like to say congratulations on Jog With Your Dog. I'm not participating. I'm going to help you this year, but the wife and kids are, and so they always enjoy that. Our friend is not. She cannot make it Saturday morning, but that's all right. We are. So that's all I'd like to say. Oh, and thank for all public who came out this evening. That was a great turnout. I enjoyed that. No other comments? No? I will move that we adjourn to executive session for State Statute 610-021 subsection 3 for personnel matters. Do I have a second? Second? First and second? All in favor? Okay, adjourn into executive session.